Well, welcome colleagues, distinguished guests, Seaway users and stakeholders, and to the local St. Catharines community, thank you. Thank you once again for welcoming us to your wonderful city. In fact, I just learned that the roads in St. Catharines were built to wrap around the canals, and that's how important the Seaway has been to the development of this city. So it's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to be with all of you to rein in the opening 67th navigation season here on the St. Lawrence Seaway. And in particular, I'd like to welcome the dedicated crew of the ATB Everlast, including Captain Bromley and Chief Engineer Kardash. Captain Bromley, I took the liberty of peeking at your LinkedIn account. I saw that you started as a deckhand back in 1996. I remember 1996, that was the first year I stumbled up a gangway as a deck cadet on a merchant ship, not knowing the pointy end from the round end of a roll-on, roll-off carrier. I also heard that you've been a ship captain for the last 18 years. Being a former mariner myself, I understand that sea service means time away from family and friends, and that if you're here with us, you're not able to be there with them. So thanks to both of you, and especially thanks to your families for your shared sacrifice. We're delighted that your ship was chosen to kick off this season, marking yet another milestone in the rich history of the St. Lawrence Seaway. I wanted to point out the dedication of the captain and the chief, because there's a major shortage of mariners in the United States and in Canada. We need more people on both sides of the border, and in particular the up and coming high schoolers and college students, to look to the sea for their careers and follow in the footsteps of the captain and the chief engineer. I hear from American ship captains frequently that their biggest fear for our industry is that when they look over their shoulders, there's nobody behind them to take their place. Just yesterday, my team and I visited a high school in Buffalo, New York. Rough town. And meeting some of these kids, some people from Buffalo. But because of what we saw, and meeting these kids and listening to their dedication and what they were planning for their futures in the maritime industry, that was truly inspirational. But I know that there aren't enough students like that around, scattered throughout our country, to meet our workforce needs, particularly if we plan on growing the maritime industry. On the topic of workforce, I'd also like to take a moment to recognize our US and Canadian Seaway employees. Your support is going to be invaluable as we navigate the waters ahead. And I am constantly amazed at what you're able to do, particularly with the physicality of winter work and in conditions that would keep normal human beings in bed and underneath the covers, and certainly not out there doing concrete work at the bottom of a frozen river. So what do you do it? Right, there are certainly easier jobs out there. There are definitely warmer jobs. Why do you do it? You do it because it's important. You do it because of pride. You do it because your nations depend upon you. And those who know are grateful for your dedication to your craft. Speaking of Seaways, I'd like to pass a heartfelt thank you to Canadian St. Lawrence Seaway Management Corporation's President and CEO, Jim Athanasiou, for his ongoing partnership, collaboration, and frankly, friendship. So Jim stopped by my office a few weeks ago when we had the Great Lakes Week in Washington, D.C. And this is a little inside baseball, but as we were chatting in my office, having a cup of coffee, I was amazed at how strikingly similar our views were on the future of the Seaway and the industry it supports, as were our intentions to work with all of you to shape the future of the Seaway, to provide for its rebirth, to find new sources of cargo, to be innovative, and to not rest on our laurels. And I was inspired by Jim's energy. I can tell you it's contagious. And lastly, we are honored to have with us our esteemed representatives from the U.S. Department of State, U.S. Consul General in Toronto, Baxter Hunt, as well as our colleagues from the U.S. Commercial Service. Your presence here today underscores the importance of our shared commitment to the Seaway's success. Consul General Hunt is a career member of the Senior Foreign Service and has served in diplomatic and trade-related roles in Chile, Afghanistan, Poland, South Africa, and now here in Canada. So please give him a warm welcome as he joins us on the stage, and thank you all for being a great audience and for everything you do to support our industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony, for those great words, gracious welcome, and good morning, everyone. It's great to be here. It's an honor to be with so many distinguished officials from the area and to take part in this annual tradition. What a wonderful way to usher in spring and the start of another shipping season on the canal. The Welland Canal has a long history as a key part of the St. Lawrence Seaway and Great Lakes Waterway, and by extension, of the extraordinary bilateral cooperation between our two countries. Since it was first built almost 200 years ago, this engineering marvel has served as a symbol of our interconnectedness as Americans and Canadians traverse the locks as part of our vibrant maritime industry. In fact, a ship transiting the 15 locks between Montreal and Lake Erie crosses the international border 27 times. The collaboration between the U.S. St. Lawrence Seaway Development Corporation and the Canadian St. Lawrence Seaway Management Corporation to jointly operate this waterway ensures that this transit experience is as safe and seamless as possible. The St. Lawrence River and the 5 Great Lakes are rightly called the Opportunity Belt of North America. The Seaway directly serves an 8-state, 2-province region that accounts for 1/4 of U.S. GDP, 1/2 of North America's manufacturing and services industries, and is home to nearly 1/4 of this continent's population. Truly amazing numbers. And the people of this region are the ones who helped to make it possible. Thank you to all of you who are such a vital part in so many ways. There are countless workers, for example, who have ensured the Seaway's navigable waters are free from ice as we start the beginning of another shipping season. As everyone here knows, we had a very cold winter in this area, so let's have a round of applause for the workers who did all the hard work to make it possible to start again. So when I moved to Ontario to serve as U.S. Consul General about 1.5 years ago, one of the first places I wanted to visit with my family was the beautiful Niagara region and the falls that Americans and Canadians share and enjoy. I'll always remember driving over the Skyway Bridge that soars over the canal, highlighting the sheer magnitude of the Great Lakes carriers navigating the waters below. And the canal is also vital, of course, for the recreational boaters who utilize this passageway for their adventures on the Great Lakes. All of this incredible infrastructure highlights our capacity to innovate and overcome obstacles. In this case, the very large and captivating obstacle that is Niagara Falls. So once again, thank you for inviting me. Thank you to our tremendous Canadian partners. Thank you to the leaders of the vessel that's leading the way in opening the canal this season. And congratulations on the start of another shipping season here, made possible by the Welland Canal. Thank you all so much.
Mr. David LeMay, the President and CEO of McAshville.
Good morning. To our distinguished guests, partners, and most importantly, to the men and women and their families who keep the Seaway moving. It's a privilege to be with you today to mark the opening of the 67th navigation season. For almost 7 decades, the St. Lawrence Seaway has been more than a waterway. It's been a lifeline for trade, a pillar of industry, and a gateway to opportunity. Our team and the more than 350,000 people across North America who depend on it, this work is not just a job, it's a commitment, a legacy, and in many ways, a calling. Growing up in a small town just outside Thunder Bay, where the port wasn't just part of our economy, it was part of our identity. Several members of my extended family worked in that port, loading grain on ships that sailed beyond the horizon. I remember watching those vessels push off from the shore, carried by water, yes, but guided by experience, resolve, and trust in the journey ahead. Because navigation, which we're here to celebrate today, real navigation, is about more than just direction, it's about determination and the courage to keep moving forward even when the currents shift. At McAsphalt, we've lived that journey. Since 1979, when we brought in our first barge, marine transport has been central to how we serve our customers and grow our business. In 1999, we acquired the tug Everlast, and soon after launched the Norman McLeod barge, together forming the ATB Everlast Norman McLeod. In fact, the one we've all been talking about here today. So today, it will pass through the Seaway, just as it has for over 2 decades. But this season, we mark something new. Early this summer, the McAsphalt Advantage, our most advanced tanker yet, will carry its first load, 11,000 tons of bitumen, a vessel that reflects not just where we've been, but where we're going. With Tier 3 engines, LNG propulsion and cargo heating to reduce fuel consumption and emission, as well as twin screw propulsion, controllable pitch propellers, and quart nozzles to improve the maneuverability and, importantly, safety. It's no exaggeration to say that she is the most technologically advanced bitumen carrier in North America. It's designed not only for efficiency, but for environmental leadership. Every voyage we make removes 280 30-ton trucks from our highways, over 130,000 truck trips to date and counting, reducing congestion, cutting emissions, and proving that sustainability and performance can go hand in hand. Lost my place. Because while McAsphalt's history on the water runs deep, our vision looks forward. Marine transportation isn't just an option for us, it's a strategic commitment. In times like these, when the world feels increasingly uncertain, this seaway stands as more than a trade route. It stands as a symbol of stability, cooperation, and shared purpose. The choices we make today, how we invest, how we lead, and how we move forward will define not just this season, but the decades to come. So as we open the 2025 navigation season, we honor the legacy of those who've come before, celebrate the partnerships we build today, and focus on the progress we deliver for tomorrow. At McAsphalt, we're proud to be part of that journey, with the Everlast and Norman McLeod still charting their course, and the McAsphalt Advantage leading us forward. So in closing, I wish you all fair winds and following seas throughout the 2025 navigation season. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. LeMay. Now I'd like to call up the Mayor of St. Catharines, Mayor Matt Cisco.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here with all of you today as we celebrate the opening of the 67th navigation season for the St. Lawrence Seaway. The top hat ceremony is always a momentous occasion for our region, and I'm proud to join you all in marking this significant event. I believe I'm the only elected official who's speaking today, so I have to make sure I get the list of other elected officials right. I want to thank newly re-elected MPP Jenny Stevens for being here today. Re-election is always something to clap for. Regional Chair Jim Bradley, Mayor of Thorold Terry Ugolini, Mayor of Port Colborne Bill Steele, Mayor of Welland Frank Campion, as well as St. Catharines Deputy Mayor Bill Phillips. I want to thank you all for being here. Now I am going to, yes, as an elected official, we're not used to that. You gotta calm down. I do want to bring an apology to start. Normally, I would come bearing gifts for the folks we're celebrating today, and the regional chair would make a joke about how the region is focused on the finances of the people, and St. Catharines clearly has too much money to spend. And then there was an evacuation at City Hall this morning and a gas leak. Now, everybody's safe and it's wonderful, but I have to admit, I was not able to bring the gifts. So my apologies, and we're going to touch base with Sam on how to make sure, Captain, that you get those gifts. St. Catharines is incredibly fortunate to be the gateway to the Welland Canal, a true engineering marvel right here in our backyard. The Welland Canal continues to be a vital marine artery, connecting North America's industrial heartland to the rest of the world. Its importance to our economy cannot be overstated. The investment is part of a larger effort to ensure that the infrastructure supporting the Seaway is up to the task of meeting the growing demands of global trade. The City of St. Catharines, the St. Lawrence Seaway Management Corporation, the Niagara Region, and the federal government have all recognized the strategic importance of the Welland Canal as a hub for economic growth and opportunity. This past year, the Ontario government invested millions through the Skills Development Fund training stream with Ontario shipyards, further strengthening the marine workforce and industry. This move by the provincial government demonstrates a clear understanding of the marine sector's importance to Ontario's economy. It also highlights the Great Lakes corridors and region as a critical economic corridor, one that supports job creation, business growth, and environmental sustainability. As the treasurer and soon-to-be co-chair for the Great Lakes St. Lawrence Cities Initiative, I can confidently say that there is more work ahead. The US and Canadian members of our initiative have a great opportunity to collaborate on the immense economic potential of the Great Lakes, including the Seaway. Ontario's marine transportation industry is at a pivotal juncture. Embracing digital transformation, committing to sustainability, and adapting to the geopolitical shifts will be essential for future success. Collaboration between governments, industry leaders, and post-secondary institutions will be critical as we work to address the challenges and seize the opportunities that lie ahead. The economic impact of marine transportation extends far beyond just the shipping companies. Ports, shipyards, related industries like logistics and freight forwarding are key contributors to millions of jobs worldwide. In 2024, as we've heard, the Seaway generated over $60 billion in economic activity for Ontario, with over 350,000 jobs supported by the Welland Canal. And as we stand at the crossroads of technology, sustainability, and innovation in the marine transportation industry, it is crucial that we continue to collaborate, adapt, and build for the future. I want to thank you all for being here today and for your continued support for the St. Lawrence Seaway. Together, we look forward to another safe, successful, and prosperous navigation season. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, and thanks to the City of St. Catharines for graciously hosting us today in the museum and Welland Canal Center. Because we're in a museum, now is the time in the ceremony for the history lesson. So I'd like to call upon the curator of the St. Catharines Museum and Welland Canal Center, Kathleen Powell, to give us a history lesson about the Top Hat presentation ceremony. Captain Bromley, I'd like to also call you up, and Chief Kardash to participate in the ceremony.
Thank you very much, and welcome to the St. Catharines Museum and Welland Canal Center. I promise our history lesson will be pretty short, so you don't have to worry. It's my distinct pleasure to be here today to be part of this great occasion. I always look forward to the opening of the canal every year, which we normally refer to as the Top Hat ceremony. I know it's bigger than that, but you know we like the top hat. And while you're here, I welcome you all to take a few moments to visit our exhibits if you have time. We've just recently redeveloped our entire museum galleries, and our last exhibit just opened a couple months ago, so please take the time to have a look and explore a bit more of the history around you while you're here. As we look towards the 200th anniversary of the building of the Welland Canals in 2029, let's take a step back in time and reflect on the connection of the opening of the canal to the Top Hat. The Top Hat ceremony takes us back to the days of William Hamilton Merritt, the father of the first Welland Canal, who in true 19th century fashion would have likely worn a top hat, probably similar to this, for the official opening of the Welland Canal in 1829. Top hats such as these are also symbolic of the growth of Canada as development and settlement of our great country can be directly attributed to the fur trade and the trade in beaver pelts in particular. For this, we can thank the 18th and 19th century prevailing fashion for beaver felt hats, similar to this is actually a beaver felt top hat. These hats were not only stylish, but were durable and waterproof. The trade in beaver pelts would eventually lead to the growth of the fur trade in North America and eventually the opening of the Great Lakes, in part through the building of the Welland Canal. Today's ceremony provides us with an opportunity to honor those people of our past, both Indigenous and settler, who helped to create the national commercial network of which the Welland Canal is a part. Finally, the top hat represents the naval custom of tipping the hat, to salute a person or place of importance. This small gesture continues to this day, as hats are frequently tipped as a sign of greeting or respect. So today, as we open the St. Lawrence Seaway for its 67th navigation season, let's tip our collective hats to Captain Bromley and Chief Engineer Kardach of the ATB Everlast, Norma McLeod, as they accept the top hat for this year.
A few gifts for you. And I think we have an official plaque as well that commemorates. So I'll maybe put one on that. So the 67th navigation season is officially underway. We welcomed our first transit on March 22nd, but today, as we stand together, we take a moment to wish everyone a safe and prosperous season on the Seaway. Here's to a strong and successful 67th navigation season.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Jim. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Tony. That's going to conclude our formal portion of the opening ceremony. So on behalf of the St. Lawrence Seaway Management Corporation and the Great Lakes St. Lawrence Development Corporation, I'd like to thank everyone for attending today's opening ceremony.